coronavirus, right?
Yeah, that was the last thing we were going to talk about, right?
So
coronavirus some more. So I mean, I guess again,
we're talking specifically about gyms interactions. Right?
Yeah, because think about it now. So schools just closed, nationwide.
Well, because we're stationed in like Chicago suburb area.
Yeah.
And right now we have seen schools closed until what, May?
Well, so they close. So today's Sunday, so they're open tomorrow, and then they close Tuesday all the way through the end of the month.
Okay.
So and then they're going online most likely after that for at least 2 to 3 weeks.
And I know today the city of Chicago passed a ban. Was it?
Yeah.
The ban on more than 1,000 people.
No. Today they passed more than 100 people in bars.
Oh.
The 1,000 people was like last Thursday, but you can't even have more than 100 people in a bar.
Mm-hmm.
Going
Which is
forward.
really unfortunate because I work in a bar.
So what do gyms do at this point? The ban's not for gyms at this point or anything like that, but as a gym owner, your school just closed. Should you be holding practice?
I mean, as a gym owner, that's prime time right there. Because
Sure.
you're like, I know you kids don't have school. Come on in and practice.
We're going to do 3 practices a day. We're going to run open gyms and make extra money.
Absolutely.
Because parents got to send their kids somewhere.
But at the same time, will parents send their kids to a big, open gym type thing?
Well, that's the thing. Parents aren't even sending their kids to open gyms. I literally have been struggling to get a flyer this week, and I kind of last week, not really last week, but mostly this week, I've been struggling to get a flyer into open gym with me because legit, their parents are literally just nah. There's you're not going into a gym where kids sweat on the mats and they cough whatever somewhere in there.
Breathing heavy,
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
So it's it's not even that. Should our gyms gonna close down because of the fact that they got no business coming in?
Should they be though?
Yeah,
I guess the ultimate question is it wrong for a gym to try and stay open and monopolize that free time that people have now?
And so I'm in a point where
Maybe don't eat that.
You're killing me, kid.
Killing me, Smalls.
I'm still at a standpoint where, sorry, I wanted to talk into the camera, not into
To the camera.
I'm still at a standpoint where I'm still not freaking out about this thing.
Mm-hmm.
I still think it's serious, yes, for the elderly and things like that. And if you're going to be around the elderly and you have no choice, or if you are older with a compromised immune system, don't go out in public and don't be around people.
Obviously.
But in general, I'm still not worried about this thing. So I don't think they need to be closing, personally. I think it's tough to say that though with everything else closing.
Okay, but we were talking about earlier how much worse the flu is, just regular flu is.
Sure.
And how they don't treat it as such a big deal because they would have to do these quarantines every flu season.
Yeah.
So I guess you could talk about it in a similar manner, gyms don't close for flu season just because people are getting sick at a higher rate.
Sure.
They stay open. If you're gonna get sick, if you don't be there.
Yeah. Okay. And I've heard of some gyms, they're holding practices, but they're only doing one team at a time. That's only that team in the gym at once, no parents allowed. And that's how they're trying to move forward and function with it. But what do you do if you have a team of 20 and 6 parents still say they're not going to send their kid? Or you have those crazy parents, because this happens, where they won't send their kid if they can't watch, because they're not sending their kid because their kid likes cheer. They're sending their kid because they like to watch their kid do cheer.
Oh, I've actually met
you have those parents.
No, yeah. Those are probably.
All seen them.
I think most parents are somewhat like that, but there's the very
extreme. Their kid doesn't like cheer, but they're nope, you're gonna cheer.
Legit, when we closed the blinds at the gym I was at recently, dude, the parents are just no, open the blinds. I'm trying to watch, and we're no, we're trying to choreograph here. We don't want you guys recording, posting on social media and everything. And then they're just nah, I need to see my kid. And I'm just bruh, chill.
So you say parents can't be in the gym. Then you have parents not showing up. So yes, let's say we say it's okay to keep the gyms open and that's not an issue, and you're trying to, but people aren't showing up.
There are those that will say legally, they're not putting any bans on it, so of course go ahead and keep doing it.
But then you have half your team showing up, so you continue practicing with 10 out of your 20 kids.
But even then, you're not having real practices. You're working on this skill here, that skill here. You might be conditioning or So you do get something out of it in the end. It's just not as productive as a full practice could be.
Yeah. And then there's some gym owners that are choosing to close because they think it's the right thing to do. And
I hope they make it through.
That's the tough side. Is like, so now like those gym owners that close, do you charge tuition to the kids? You're not providing a service anymore.
Absolutely not. No.
But then how do you pay your bills? You still got rent due.
Welcome to recession, baby.
Because
Hey,
like
close the gym.
I don't know.
And like, are we gonna see
Side
all
Hustle
these?
Twitter needs to get on it. Teach everybody.
So then, are we gonna see all these gyms start closing then after this year? If this last 2 months,
We're closing
Closing
like,
because
straight up like
if
going
you
out of
can't pay
business.
you
can't pay your bills for 3 months.
pay
Yeah.
for your pills. All right.
yeah. If you can't pay your bills, because like let's say Worlds and Summit does get canceled. So then also gym, let's say they have to close all businesses or whatever because of coronavirus for 1 month even. You close for a month and you don't have Worlds. Who's coming into your gym in April and May, and why are they coming there?
Open gyms.
Open
or
gyms
like
and
still your
classes.
like tumbling classes or whatever.
But think
like,
about a class which costs probably somewhere between $40 to $60 a month versus $200 a month tuition. And were they doing that $200 a month tuition and doing a class before? So now you have
all of that missing
all that
now.
money gone. And it's like, so then you don't pay your bills, you don't have any money coming in for sure the rest of March. No money's coming in March if your gym's closed. Most likely it'll be closed the rest of April, so no money coming in April. And then you're struggling maybe to do tryouts in May, and hopefully you're getting back going that. But you just went 2 whole months, no money coming in, and then you don't bring in money during tryouts until tuition starts getting paid. So you're 3 months, and let's say your rent is, $4,000 a month. You're $12,000 in the hole right there, and that's just off rent.
And I mean that's a steep number for like a small name gym for
Yes.
a brand that's like trying to make something like that's
Like I think if you're 5 years into it, you're probably not too worried.
if you're
Okay,
established
so like if
and
you're like
you,
ice, you'll probably
You'll be fine.
oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
probably make it.
they'll probably make it through.
But if you're less than a 5-year gym, like I don't know how you survive that kind of, because you normally don't start turning a profit for most businesses until year 3 or 4. Because when you start turning a profit. So these 1 and 2 year businesses were already operating at a loss, spending money to their bank accounts and just tossing money at the gym.
And now they're just losing it even quicker.
Yes.
That's rough.
Like think about Midwest. Like Midwest, just like where we cheered, like they just closed because like money just wasn't coming in and stuff. Let's say this would have been a year in advance, and they had to close for 3 months, and they closed just now because of money. Like,
So from that perspective, I can completely understand if a gym were to try and stay open just to like try and earn something, anything at this point, like
Well, I mean, in general, I don't see anything wrong with staying open as a gym. Like if you don't want to send your kid, I mean, I guess, but like it makes it hard for you to like keep running the gym. I guess
you get in this weird spot of like, so let's say you have 2 options. You can keep the gym open and still run team practices and try to do some own gyms, or you can keep the gym open, cancel team practices and still open gyms and just do open gyms and classes and stuff and try to keep those going. But you're going to have parents that you're pissing off in both segments. So like you keep the gym open and you run team. Well, you're pissing off the parents that don't think their kids should be there. You keep the gym open, you close team, you're going to piss off the parents that think they should have been practicing. And it's like, you're in this catch-22 that like, you're just going to piss people off no matter what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And then with that same note, you're not practicing for your teams, but the gym down the street, 20 minutes away is practicing. Do those kids then move over there next year? That of the parents that think they should have been practicing, and then vice versa. Gym down the street closes, but you stay open and run your team practices. The kids that don't think they should be there, they see this gym, they close. Well, that was the right thing to do in those parents' mind. So then do they go there next year? It's
playing Russian roulette with a fully loaded revolver is
Yeah,
what that sounds
it's-
like.
It's an unbelievable scenario at this point, and like,
God damn.
yeah.
good thing we're not gym owners.
We don't gotta make this decision.
Pew pew. Yeah, I wouldn't. No, I would stay open. Honestly,
I'd stay open.
Well, because
hands down.
I mean, and then you also like, let's say they don't cancel Worlds, and then you close your gym and you weren't practicing for a month.
You're fucked. You're so far behind everybody else because anybody like dead set on going to Worlds, I'm sure. I bet that has another thing to do. Is how much potential does your team have at Worlds?
Yes.
The more potential that they have at Worlds, I'm sure the more likely you are to stay open, the more likely you are to like
because you want to. And
just come to practice.
Those kids are more dedicated usually too.
True.
If you're a very competitive team, those
If
kids
you're at that level, yeah.
and the parents are more invested and are more dedicated to it too. So like, yes, if you're that high level team, but that's not what pays the bills. Those level 5 teams don't pay the bills. What pays the bills is the 1 through 4s.
Mm-hmm.
That's who's paying your bills. And it's like, yeah, maybe they think they're going to do well at Summit, but is that a driving force? Like, it's like some people, Summit's, you know, the top of the tier, but for a lot of people, they're looking for Worlds. Summit's just like that in between while they're waiting to go to Worlds.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't, and when are they going to make the decision about Worlds and Summit?
I mean, like you said, they have to do it now. Like, basically, at this point, like, what? It's like a month and a half, like less than a month and a half away.
Yeah, I think it's the weekend of April 26th or whatever. So like, we're at March 15th right now. So a month and 10 days. So it's like 40 days basically. Like, and that'd be the weekend. So like, it's really more like 35 days because shit's down there on Thursday and stuff.
That's
so
crazy.
So it's, I mean,
it's sneaking up.
It's right. It's literally right there. And like,
coronavirus couldn't have hit 6 months earlier. Just got to ruin Worlds.
Well, like luckily, like for like Illinois cheer, like just barely got through state and everything. State's the first weekend in February. Like as things started getting bigger and bigger, so like luckily, like at least cheer in Illinois snuck by.
High school cheer.
Yeah, high school cheer.
I think Florida did too.
Did it? Yeah, and like there's some other places that got lucky with it with their sport and stuff. But like, what do you do with the senior age kids? Kids that are aging out, do you give them another year if you cancel it?
No. I don't.
I mean, you should. I feel like you should, because like, dude, imagine, like, dude, okay, it's like the same thing like high school. It's like you only have 4 years to do it, so it's like, well, I mean, I guess if you can't really give like a freshman in college an extra year in high school, but since this is All Star, I feel like, I don't know, maybe next year, like if they do cancel Worlds this year, I feel like.
We're never talking about high school though.
No, I was talking All Star.
Oh.
Yeah. And like the
you thought he meant like
because we
go back to school.
Yeah,
no, sorry. Okay.
But even to that point, like college, they're having the same conversation.
Oh, like senior division.
Yes.
Okay,
like,
sorry.
Like the college kids.
Oh, that's 5 o'clock.
All right, so we're gonna wrap it up here real quick because Andy's got a dip. But like senior, they're talking about the same thing in college. Like you only get 4 years of eligibility when you do sports in college. So they cancel all college sports. They're talking about, are they going to give another year of eligibility to every kid across the board?
Well, if you cancel the season, they didn't participate in the season.
Yep.
So they didn't even use one of those years.
Like,
technically, like
basketball ran all the way through. And just didn't have the championship. There was a week left of basketball guaranteed.
No, see, I feel like they should definitely get that extra year because they put that work in. They didn't get that championship. They didn't get to see the results of all their hard work.
They just delay the championship? Like they just throw it into the summer?
They canceled. It wasn't feasible. It just like they had a lot of conflicts and like travel and issues. Like there's a whole article on it. It just doesn't work for college.
Okay.
But like do they delay it for All Star? And I guess we might as well wrap it up here so Andy can dip. But like we can dive back into this topic like the next time we come.
Let us know what you think about both of the topics. Do you smoke? And if you do you cheer when you're high? And if you don't, or you do, why?